All right, well, NBC is calling it an experiment. Election Confessions is an anonymous Tumblr where people can text or phone in their observations about presidential candidates. And judging from the response, NBC just might be onto something. So what's driving voters anyway? And do polls tell the story? NBC doesn't seem to think so.
Are we headed for a surprise?
This week, NBC News launched Election Confessions, a website that allows regular folks to anonymously post thoughts about candidates and the issues they care about. And so far, NBC is getting a wide variety of responses. Some people send in pictures of handwritten notes, like these, for example. I'm a Dem and want to see more of Kasich. Love Bernie's message, but voting for Hillary. Or this, there are no candidates that represent me. You can also call in anonymously and leave a message.
My biggest fear is that the loose cannon called Donald Trump is going to actually get on the ticket.
Or you can simply text your thoughts to NBC's Confession Hotline, which seems to be the most popular method. Whether NBC learns anything from all this is anyone's guess, but it's refreshingly different. I found myself spending way too much time on this website reading these things. I don't know why, because you know, when you go into the field and you do man on the street, it's a little like that. Yeah. Although these are unprompted in the same way that a man on the street, and I think the fact that these are anonymous empowers people to say more than they might ordinarily. I'm sure they're all edited, but most of them are quite pithy. The ones that are drawn are all quite short. And I'm sure they've gotten a lot more that they haven't been able to post, but I don't know, there's something about it that, as I said, is kind of refreshing.
I enjoyed them too, but I'd give it about a week because the campaigns are going to be all over this now that the word is starting to get out more about it, and everybody's going to try to. Yeah, absolutely. So it was nice while it lasted. Maybe they can collect them into a small book, but I don't think this is going to last.
Oh, ditto. That's the first thing I thought is, okay, it's going to be a minute before somebody just aggregates all of their let's vote for Trump or let's vote for Kasich and, you know, makes it all go away. And what was unique about it is these individual voices. It'll all start to sound the same, and they'll be using the same language, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, very quickly. Yeah. What I really want to see, though, are the ones that don't make it onto that site.
Oh, I know.
Because, and I would like to know what the ratio is, because this boy, that would talk about an invitation for the nut jobs to just immediately try to go out there and put it out there. Somebody's got that in a special file somewhere that I'd really like to get into.
So this is your idea of fun, Emily, huh? We have to talk. To me, this is the lowest form of internet life. I'm a man.
I can think of many lower.
Well, let's talk about it. A man, a woman on the street interview. There's human interaction. You can get a sense of who this person is, where they're coming from. Often they'll give you their name. A newspaper comment thread. At least there's a dialogue of sorts. People go on and they debate and push back. A radio talk show, there's a call screener, and there's some sense of you can hear the person's voice, and there's a host there, in theory, engaging with the person. This is just sort of an open sewer into which sewage pours. And I get it, NBC is weeding out the worst of the sewage, or perhaps they are. But I don't know who these people are, where they're coming from.
But, I mean, I think it gives people an opportunity to say things that they might not ordinarily say. I mean, there's always that question about whether you're telling the truth to a pollster, whether you're telling the truth to an exit poller, whether you're telling the truth when you're a man on the street because you feel, there you are, you're on TV. This is an opportunity, and so far, I mean, it's been pretty tame stuff, John. I mean, call it an open sewer. I mean, I'm sure NBC is very, very careful about what they post, and so far it's been extremely tame. But it's the idea is so that you're not feeling so under pressure to come up with something.
I don't think the problem with our culture or our civic life is a lack of opportunities to say what you want. I think, if anything, it's the opposite. There are too many, too loosely curated and edited.
Well, but these are also, this is based on other Tumblrs that people have started on different topics. And I wish I could think of the more popular ones that have been out there, but it's very similar in the tone and the feel of it. It's all kind of innocent. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not going to last, but I think that what I saw today in preparing for this segment was kind of telling and interesting.
You know, one thing, just as an editorial point, I can't believe how many people say they're going to move to Canada, and I get that all the time now, all the time, from
from friends, from family. It's like, I'm moving to Canada?
Never happens.
Well, I
Well,
did
of course, not only does it have, isn't it kind of a stupid thing to say?
Yes, it is.
Except that on my show, we announced that Cape Breton or Breton in Canada, they've offered
Yeah.
up their space in Canada for people who are ready to leave because Donald Trump may become president. So there you go. You can move to Canada if you want.